Welcome to Goshen Health's OneChart Ambulatory Implementation video. Today's topic, Back Office, the formatted data, saved data, canned text, and quick text. The mission of the OneChart project team is to implement a unified EMR that will continue to elevate the exceptional care provided to our patients and surrounding communities by streamlining communications and workflows throughout our organization and enhance patient engagement. As a reminder, we are building on the system currently and still working on your workflows. So what you see on the screen today may change between now and go live. These videos are meant to give you an idea of the Meditech functionality in order to educate you a bit prior to our training, and also hopefully ease some of your concerns pertaining to the move to a new system. So on to the topics. Today we're defining the text box functionality and options. We will cover formatted data, saved data, canned text, and quick text. Meditech also allows for drag and dictation and a copy and paste functionality that you see with Microsoft Word. We will not be covering the last two of these in our video today. We want to encourage you to play in the test environment, so feel free to follow along with this video. If you have any problems logging in, please notify us at OneChart PM Core Team email. Now, please go to your desktop and select the Expanse WPL test icon. As before, please enter your Goshen email, your password, and then click Sign In. If you're a provider, you will be brought directly into your clinical home screen. If for any reason it brought you over to the acute side, the screen will look like this. In order to go back to the ambulatory, please click on the drop-down next to your home icon up in the black navigation bar and select Ambulatory Clinical Home. And you're back to your clinical home screen for your office. If you are a back office clinical colleague, then you will have a screen that looks similar to this. What I'll need you to do is click on the clinical home screen at the very top. If yours is not at the top, please look within these options and select it. Once again, if you have any problems logging in, please let us know. For our discussions today, I will need to take us into a note. You will probably not have all of these patients on your screen every day that you come in to play. For your knowledge, you may go up and click Find Patient, enter patient's name, select the patient, go up to your black navigation bar and click Document, and then please select one of the visits that says Schedule Ambulatory. When you select it, you will click Apply, and it'll bring you to this screen. Now that I've shown you how to play in the test system, I'm going to take us back to that clinical home screen and show you what your normal day would look like. So I can see that Tess Luray has been checked in. I'm going to click on the visit. I am brought into the chart. Once again, we are going to create a document. So let's go up into our black navigation bar and click on Document icon. Since a note has not already been opened by my clinical colleague, I will open it myself. I have certain ones already saved. You can see my stars. So I'm going to the office visit and clicking. I'm going to begin by clicking up here in the top on Rapid Entry. Really, any text box will work for this video. For ease, I will display all the text box functionality within one area. I choose the Result Comments section. This is what a text box looks like. When I click inside, it gives me options for other documentation. Today, we are going to focus on formatted data. Formatted data is the ability to pull in discrete data that has been entered on our patient, whether it was brought in through the system, or in this case, my patient came in with a document for labs that were outside the Goshen Health. So I'm going to click on the A with the drop-down arrow. I'm going to choose formatted data. Labs are the most common, so I'm going to type in lab, and I'm going to wait for the search ahead functionality. Notice I have the ability for abnormals to be brought in. I'm going to come in and say all lab tests within the last 48 hours. And then I'll click Insert. Because of how the system was set up, it brings it in this fashion. Our second topic was saved data. Saved data is Meditech's version of a copy and paste when I want to bring in discrete data that I choose. For instance, I can go out to my chart. I can come over to my summary tab and look at my labs. If I right click on these, I get the option to add to saved data. And I'll just do that on a few of these. I can then come back to my document. Now that I have the saved data, I can come in and click on my A and notice it shows me there are items in here that have been saved. So I will click on Save Data, and it has all of my information. If I wanted to keep this for multiple areas, I could click on these checkboxes off to the right. In this case, I want all this information to be in here and then be cleared from this board. So I'm going to click Insert, and it brings all the information in for me. I have individually brought in the information that I wanted in my note instead of the formatted data. Our next topic is canned text. Canned text is similar to the My Phrases in NextGen. These are bits of text that you have identified as needed in the office. So your IT department creates it in what's called canned text, and then you can pull it in. In this case, I will come up here and I will click on the A with the drop-down arrow, and I'll click on canned text. Let's pretend that I'm looking for the scribe attestation statement. So if I start to type, you can see scribe attestation. I could make it a favorite by clicking on the star, and then that would come up to the top each time. I'm going to select it and then click Insert. It may be a small amount of text or a large amount of text. If you're using Dragon, you can press your record button and say next field, and it'll bring inside these areas that are bracketed. If I am not using Dragon, I can come up here and click on this icon right here, and it automatically highlights it, so I could enter the person's information. With canned text, if there's something you would like to have created, you will have to send that to your IT builders. Our final topic, and probably the one that we'll spend the most time on, is quick text. Some people like to call it the dot phrase. For instance, I will type in dot biopsy, and then I hit the space bar. It automatically brings in the information that I've already entered into the system. Once again, anything inside of brackets, I may use my button up here at the top or my Dragon dictation to go to the next field and enter information quickly. The most common error I see in this is someone enters the dot phrase and then hits the enter key instead of the space bar. So remember, dot phrase and space bar. Sometimes I can't remember what my dot phrase was. So if you come back up here to the A with the drop down and click on Quick Text, it brings me into the overlay. Right now I'm viewing all of them that I had. In that case, I could have come up here, I could have selected it, and I could have clicked Insert. And it brings it in again. I'm going to remove this last bit just to avoid confusion. Sometimes I just want to create something on the fly. I could come down here and highlight all of this and make a copy of it and bring it in. But in this case, I'm going to show you how to create something completely from scratch. So let's click on the A with the drop down, select Quick Text, and this time we're coming up to the tab that says Edit. Please click on Edit tab. Notice I do have the ability to come in here and highlight and make changes to the ones that exist. These are ones that I created as an individual, not the ones that were entered for the entire office. That is the reason I have the opportunity to make changes. If I want to create a new one, however, I will come up here to the Create New trigger and click on it. Let's pretend I want to create something that talks about the flu. So I'm going to do .flu, no spaces. If I put a second word in there, no spaces between it. Keep everything lowercase. This is so you don't accidentally type in flu sometime and have it drop all this information. Once I've created my dot phrase, I'm coming over here and I'm going to enter a little longer description. Now I'm ready to enter my text. Here's some information that I have used in the past. I took from one of my old notes. I can come in here, I can highlight all of it, and I can right click and do a copy. I'm then going to take that to another screen, and I'll come down here in my text area and I can right click and paste. It doesn't look exactly the same, and you may need to come in here and make a few changes with it. Okay, if everything looks good, then I have two options. I can click Save. Notice, other than moving it around in my list, it really doesn't show me very well that it has been saved. I could click Insert. However, at this point, I don't want to insert it quite this way. Instead, I'm going to come out, I'm going to click Cancel, and I'm going to test out what I just built. So I'm going to enter .flu and hit the space bar, and it brings everything in for me. If I happen to bring this in from another source, all copyright laws are still intact. If I want to create a footnote, I can come up here to this icon, hover over it, it says footnote, and it will allow me to enter the information. And click Save. And before, you do have the ability to use Dragon if you're a provider. We also have the ability, if I had something that I'd copied from somewhere else, I can paste. If for some reason it doesn't come into your note, please feel free to use this little icon at the top, Pasteboard, and you can come in here and you can paste the information and then import it into your note. So today we have covered the formatted data, the saved data, canned text, and quick text. Not only how to pull it in, but how to create it on the fly. If you ever struggled on how to use quick text or create your own, please go back up to the A, click Quick Text, and go to the How to. We created the step-by-step instructions of what I described earlier. Thank you for your continued support by watching these videos. We are very excited for your end user trainings to show you what we've created for the end product. Thank you again and have a great day.